Hello everyone, welcome to Vishnu IS Academy. Today, as part of current affairs, we will discuss some of the most important current affairs in the news. So, coming to the first current affair. So, as we know, China is constructing world largest hydropower dam on river Brahmaputra. Let's see what are the implications and what are the concerns regarding the dam. So, as we know, Brahmaputra, which is the longest river in Tibet. So, it is called as Arunachal in Tibet. So, in China now started constructing dam because if you see this Brahmaputra, it forms as a great bend which is called as a great bend itself in the region of Arunachal Pradesh in India. So, because this will be a good reason for the construction of hydropower, that's why it's now constructing a dam. So, if you see in Arunachal Pradesh, we can see a mountains called Namcha Barwa, wherein this Brahmaputra takes U-turn and enters into the India. So, we'll see that in the coming slide. But next one. So, if you see, initially China has planned to construct 20 kilometers long tunnels, but due to the pressure of Bangladesh and India, now it says it's not constructing tunnels, but it started constructing a huge dam. That's what even China says. So after the completion of the dam, it is called as a Motua hydropower station. So it is so important because as of now, world's largest hydropower generating dam is nothing but a Three Gorges Dam. It generates around 22,500 megawatts power, but after construction of this Motu hydropower station, which is in use, it will generate up to 60,000 megawatts power gen. So after construction, it will give 6,000 megawatt electricity to water. That is nothing but hydropower. So it is more or less 3 times equal to the Three Gorges Dam. That's why it is very important to China. And if you ask me, like, why now? It has been started and it has been in use since 1 or 2 years. But what our Chinese president says, it is now started under the project Xia Song. Nothing but now they are planning western electricity to send east, in order to send all the western electricity to east. That's what, because of this plan, now they are starting. That's what Chinese president says. And the other reasons what he says is, so we know, like, we have some targets like achieve carbon neutrality, right? So India said we will be reaching by 2070, but China said it will be reaching by 2060. In order to reach the target of carbon neutrality, so China has taken over this project because through this conventional source of energy, hydropower will be more. That's why they'll shift more towards a carbon neutrality. That's why they have started because of the target of 2060. That's what their president says. And if you see the location, see, here it's a Tibet autonomous region through which our Arunachal flows, and in Arunachal Pradesh, where we can see Namcha Barwa, here it takes a bend and it flows through Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Assam and enters into Bangladesh. After entering to Arunachal Pradesh, it will call it as Brahmaputra, and after entering into the Bangladesh, it is called as Yamuna. So here it is a place there they are constructing the dam. So it's because it's the deepest, the gorge it's forming is nothing but one of the deepest and longest on the land. That's why they are planning to construct. So we'll see what are some of the concerns or implications due to the construction of them. As we can see, all the downstream of this river are nothing but the Indian states and as well as Bangladesh. So whenever we are constructing, some dams or some bridges on the water, the downstream people will get affected. In this way, even Bangladesh and India also getting affected. So our first concern is downstream impact, because when they construct a dam and they when suddenly release the water, all the low-lying areas will get affected due to the floods. That's what impact of downstream. So next, water control and diversion. So as for Bangladesh and Arunachal Pradesh, Brahmaputra is the lifeline. It's a main source of water. Now China, if they start constructing dam, in that way they may reduce the flow of the water also. That's why it is a problem to India as well as Bangladesh also. And seismologic threats. Why seismologic threats? As we know, these are all like Himalayan zone. These Himalayan zones are very sensitive and they are always affected with the earthquakes or other landslides. So if they start drilling and if they start constructing dam, so these concerns may also increase. Chances of getting more earthquakes also is the one of the reason for India's concern over this dam. And ecological and environment impact is the one more reason. Why? Because as it is a Himalayan region, it's a flow of water and it's a river also. There is a presence of beautiful fauna and flora there. Even those endangered species will get affected due to construction of dam. That is ecological and environment impact and geopolitical implications. And India claims that in order to curtail India and Bangladesh, in order to get people of India to suffer, now China is planning. That's what the political reasons. And one more thing, transparency and data sharing. Now what India asks China is, if the dam you're constructing is safe, please share the data. That's what India is asking China, but it's not giving the data. That's why we have these implications because of this dam. And if you see, there are certain political people or ministers who has raised some questions or gave reactions about this dam. If you see Arunachal Pradesh, Chief Minister Pen Khandu, he says this dam as a water bomb, because these are the first state people who are getting affected due to this dam. So he calls it a water bomb. So, and again, if you come to our external minister Jaishankar sir, he says we will monitor and take necessary steps if this continues. That means without transparency, without proper management, if they are constructing, we will take necessary steps. That's what our Jaishankar sir says. And so this is nothing but our first current affair. And if we go to the second current affair, so as we know, Jagdeep Dhankar, who is our vice president, current vice president, who gave his resignation yesterday. So he says, he gave his statement that which mentions due to the medical advice and due to the health issue, now he is resigning and he has submitted his resignation to our President of India. So now let's see some of the articles or some of the things associated with the Vice President of India, because he is the most important, second important position in India. That's why we will see some of the details about it. If you see, Vice President India is the second highest constitution office in the India. So, in accordance with the Article 63 of the Constitution, Vice President has given certain functions, and in the absence of President, he has to act as a President. That's what Article 63 says. And so, Vice President holds an office for 5 years. So, according to that, now current our Jagdeep Dhankar sir has to stay up to August 2027, but he gave his resignation due to the health issues. And so our question is whether he is the first one to resign in the office, like before the term itself. No, there are so many other vice presidents also, but reasons may vary. Some due to the election of president or certain areas. But there are two very important persons. One is Byron Singh Shekhawat and other one is Zakir Hussain and V.V. Giri, who took and if you see V.V. Giri and Byron Singh Shekhawat, who are very important because without particular reason, and as I said, even our Jagdeep Dhankar also resigned. In the same way, even they also resigned. So we'll see certain important vice president who have been resigned in such manner. So if coming back to V.V. Giri, so V.V. Giri resigned in 1969 because he wants to be elected as a president, because Zakir Hussain in 1969, because of death, now V.V. Giri has to take the role of president. That's why he resigned. After that, again he contested for president election and he got elected as a president. That's why V.V. Giri he's the first vice president of India who has resigned for the office to become a president. And Jagdeep Dhankar, we can see, is the third and the first vice president resigned on the basis of health issues. That's what we can see. And coming to the next person, and as I said, eventually he led on, and other vice president who also resigned are nothing but Venkat Raman, Shankar Dayal Sharma and K.R. Narayan. These are the persons who also resigned for the vice president post to become president. And if you see, there is one more person called Krishna Kant. He is also vice president. He is important because he is the only vice president in India who died when he is on vice president as a vice president of India. That's what. So Krishna Kant was the only vice president who died when he was in office. And so he passed away on July 2002, and after that Venkat Raman sir took the charge and contested as a president elections also. And meanwhile our Shankar Dayal Sharma also did the same thing, and he also became a president later. And if you see, Byron Singh Shekhawat is the first vice president who resigned, or we can say because vice president who lost elections of president. Until then, whenever a vice president is contesting as a president, he used to win. But only Byron Singh Shekhawat is the person who lost election opposite of Pratibha Devi Singh Patil. That's why due to that, Byron Singh Shekhawat resigned to even vice president post also. That's why he is important. And we said there are other Muhammad Hamid Ansari, when Byron Singh Shekhawat resignation, this vice president post was empty for 21 days. After that, Muhammad Hamid Ansari sir has taken the post. And our next question would be, who is our next vice president? Usually, according to the current happening scenario, we have deputy chairman of Rajya Sabha, who is nothing but Harivansh Narayan Singh. He would be our next vice president of India until new vice president has been elected. So there are certain options we can see, and we can see Jagdeep Dhankar. So someone has to elect as a vice president. So it is under Article 62 and 71 with the following the vice president rules of 1974. We are now going to elect vice president within 60 days. So that's what, according to these two, 60 days is the time period we have. So September 19, 2025 would be the deadline to select a vice president of India. So now our question is, who selects the vice president of India? So who are the members in electoral college to select him? So now It's different compared to president. If you take vice president, all the MPs of both nominated and elected in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha will now elect our vice president. So all the MPs of both houses and MPs will be cast a single transferable oath with a secret ballot. This how our vice president of India will be elected. So that's it for today. Thank you.